What's going on? It's the RapNerd, and I just got out of seeing the latest Jurassic Park movie called Jurassic World Rebirth. Now, this story follows a team of military trained type people who go to a lost island in the Jurassic Park region full of a bunch of failed crossbreeds of dinosaurs, and they were left there because they are the most terrifying dinosaurs amongst the ones created to extract some DNA that's going to help mankind figure out a sickness. Now, this movie follows the Jurassic World trilogy, and it's made pretty clear that this is the direct sequel of Jurassic World Dominion. And I can say that this movie is a bit of a mixed bag, though I did like it, and I'm more than sure that I'll like it on rewatch, because it was a disappointment in a huge way. You know, when I saw the trailer and they were talking about these deformity dinosaurs, and even teasing that one that looked like a xenomorph, I was hyped because I was like, oh man, this is a way to not only get back to the horror roots of the first two, but it can be the scariest of them all, because you're talking about crossbreeding and DNA going wrong. So there's all types of terrifying monster-esque dinosaur designs that they could have, but they really didn't go for it like I thought they were going to go for it, and that was really the biggest letdown for me. You know, I think when you tease a moment of terror like this in a way of like having these weird looking creatures, you should probably go for it. And to me, the only creature in this film that really looked like some otherworldly terrifying type stuff was the xenomorph type dinosaur. The rest of them, yeah, had crossbreeding in the sense of you can see that these were a combination of dinosaurs, but they still looked like dinosaurs. Like, they were recognizable as like, oh, that could be a dinosaur that I didn't know about or have never seen before, rather than just being complete monstrosities where you're like, oh, what is that? And I was really hoping that they were going to go for that more to help separate itself from the rest of the movies, but it doesn't really do that. It doesn't go for it. And I also think that the characters were kind of wasted. You know, you have Mahershala Ali, who is an Oscar nominated. Did he win an Oscar? Either way, he's Oscar level. And then you have ScarJo, who is one that you can easily bet on for, you know, giving a good performance. I think she's nominated as well, has been nominated. And I just feel like they wasted both of them, because the big factor, right? Like I said, the dinosaur design was a disappointment, but hey, I can get over that. But really the big letdown was the inclusion of this family in the movie. I think that they solely brought this movie down a lot. And if you were to cut them out, this movie would be 100 times better and more enjoyable. This family that they introduced in like the end of the first act is just insufferable. I rarely get annoyed by characters, but they just annoyed me to high hell, and it brought down their enjoyment a lot. Now, the family consists of a dad who is a widowee, his older daughter who brings her boyfriend as well, and then like a younger daughter, and their family dynamic is just annoying. I know annoying starts with an A, but that's how eye rolling it was. I was just like, this is annoying as hell. I don't understand why they are in this movie, and I'm sitting there hoping like, oh, there's gonna be some payoff here in the film, and there's nothing. They're just here for no absolute reason but to be annoying. The father just seems like a very irresponsible dad doing things that don't make any sense. I mean, the whole reason why they're even there is like, why would you do that? The sister is like overly aggressive to everyone for no reason, and a lot of her motivations for any of the aggravation was just annoying. Her boyfriend was this fake stoner type dude, like, hey, I don't care, you know, I'm cool, you know, I'm just doing my own thing, and he was annoying as hell too. The daughter wasn't really annoying, but it was just kind of like they were using her as like the cutesy character in the movies to have somebody like the audience could, I guess, just like in a sense, but again, it didn't work for me. And that family is just really bad the whole time. I can't think of a single thing that I liked. And the messed up part is the movie is split kind of in two places. So you're with this crew with Mahershala and Scarlett, who are, you know, looking for the DNA for the dinosaurs, which if it would have been that, I would have been fine with that, because that's typical of what a lot of these movies do. You have a group of trained you know, characters who find their way back to Jurassic Park needing to get something. So I'm a-okay with that, and I actually like that part, and that's what made me look forward to it, because I'm like, this is like going back to the basics of how like the Lost World was, or even Jurassic Park 3, how You know, you had people returning who didn't really want to return, but they had to. If they would have just did that, I would have enjoyed this movie a lot more. But it's split with the family, who is just stupid. God, like, I can't explain how annoying they are. If you've seen the movie, I don't know how you feel about it, but you can definitely say this family was there for no apparent reason, and they aggravated the hell out of me. So really, those two factors brought the movie down for me, you know, from being enjoyable. More so the family, like I said, just terrible. God, dog. And not going for it, you know, with these species that are the most terrifying, because I thought they could have gone further than that. But those are the two main, you know, big downers for me. I still do like the movie. I think Gareth killed it in the visual department. There are a lot of frames in here that are just beautifully blocked and using the budget to its best ability. A lot of beautiful imagery, and I think it was shot on film too, so it has that nice graininess that you would get from the movies, and it feels a lot like, again, the first three for me, which is dope. And it does still lean on the terror, because there's a sequence, you know, at the very beginning of the movie that has to do with boats that is immaculate. When I saw that, I was like, we are in for a great movie here. I love that. But unfortunately, there aren't any other scenes that kind of match the intensity of that one, so it kind of left me looking like, okay, when are we going to get the next big, you know, scene? But it doesn't really, you know, get there. I do like the third act, you know, involving a certain creature, but I feel like I wanted more of that because it just wasn't enough for me. But I can enjoy it for what it was. The visual aesthetic is great. The score is great. Again, I love the first act, and just, you know, the process of going with the crew to go find something. I think that's Jurassic Park. But overall, it was just like, eh. But I do think that I will like it more rewatching it, knowing what I'm getting myself into, because now I'm fully aware of what's to come. So the enjoyment level will be higher, and it'll be one that I watch again. Like I said, I love this entire franchise, all the movies, you know, besides this one. This is the only one I don't really love. I can just say I like it, and it's easily like my least favorite. And that's blasphemy, I know, because a lot of people do not like those Jurassic World movies besides the first one. But I love Fallen Kingdom, and I love World Dominion for what they are and just what they were, you know, going out to say. And I think that's the thing about this movie that is a bit like, because I don't feel like there was much for it to say besides just like, let's bring the nostalgia back and try and bring the horror elements like we were used to. But outside of that, it's not really much to grasp on, except just being a popcorn movie, which a lot of people are okay with. I'm actually okay with that too. And again, I would have liked it if it wasn't for this stupid ass family. I'm sounding like a broken record, but God, they were just terrible. So other than that, overall, I thought it was just, you know, okay, with a very high rewatchable factor, you know, after I do grab it, because I am going to get it on physical media to add it to my collection. Hopefully we can get a steelbook, and I will rewatch it at home, and maybe it'll do something more for me. Hell, I'm thinking about maybe even rewatching the movie again if I have time, because if you see, this is not my typical setting. I'm on vacation for the 4th of July. So if I can find a way to fit this in, I'm going to rewatch it again, because, like I said, I love these movies, and the spectacle is there for sure. Everything that you expect from a spectacle standpoint, you get here. And that's why I want to rewatch it, because I want to be able to enjoy the moments that I really did think were really good, and kind of be able to black out, in a sense, the stuff that I don't like. And I'm a stan of this franchise, so I really want to like it more than I do. So I'm just being real with you. So if you've seen the movie, let me know in the comments what you thought. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Whatever it is, put it in the comments, and be respectful as always. And if you like this kind of content, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you already are subscribed, thank you. And until next time, peace.
RapNerd Productions, no capping, that's word to mommy. Instead of banking on it, now rapping is just a hobby.